and Brother Smith. And now we have a great lesson before you again. It's titled, God Never Promised You Heaven. Because all the time, we hear people all the time say, my mother is in heaven, or my loved one is in heaven. I can't wait to see my loved one in heaven. But we're going to let the Bible prove to you, God never promised you heaven. And we're going to start this off in Psalm 15, verses 1 and 2. Psalm 15, 1 and 2. When you get there, brother, go ahead and read.
Lord, who shall abide in thy tabernacle? Who shall dwell in thy holy hill? He that walketh uprightly and speaketh truth in his heart. He that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness and speaketh the truth in his heart.
See, the first verse started out with a question. It said, who shall abide in thy tabernacle, and who shall dwell in the holy hill? And he answered the question in the second verse. He said, he that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness and speaketh the truth in his heart, which is his mind. He that keepeth the commandments and walketh according to God's word and keep his truth up in his mind, those are the ones going to abide in his tabernacle. Now let's go to John chapter 14, verses 1 through 3. John chapter 14, verses 1 through 3. See, God made some promises to you, but one of them is not heaven. He promised you eternal life if you abide in his word.
That's right.
He promised you will be in his kingdom if you abide in his word. Now, John chapter 14, verses 1 through 3. Go ahead, brother.
Let not your heart trouble. Ye believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house there are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go and prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also.
See, now people have read this many, many times. And he promised, he said, in my Father's house there are many mansions. But we're going to find out what the place he's talking about. It is definitely not heaven. He said he promised them mansions, many mansions. He said, if it was not, I would tell you. But he said, oh, I will come again and receive you unto myself. He didn't say he was going off to heaven. He said, if I come again, I will receive you unto myself, that where I am, there he may be also. And let's see where he's talking about, where he's going to be. Let's go to Psalm 132. Psalm 132, see what this place he's talking about. Psalm 132, we're going to walk this place down that he's talking about. This place with many mansions. Psalm 132.
Right, that's right.
Psalm 132, and we're going to read verses 13 and 14. When you get there, brother, go ahead and read.
For the Lord has chosen Zion. He hath desired for his habitation.
14.
This is my rest forever. Here I will dwell. Here will I dwell, for I have desired.
So now, this place is Zion. He said, for the Lord has chosen Zion. He hath desired for his habitation. Habitation, that means it's his dwelling place. Now, verse 14 says, this is my rest forever. So this Zion, he's going to rest here forever. Here will I dwell, for he hath desired. So we're going to see where this place of Zion is really at. Okay, go to verse 16. I'm sorry, go to verse 16.
I will also clothe her priests with salvation, and her saints shall shout aloud for joy.
So there were this places which is Zion. He said he's going to clothe the priests with salvation, and her saints shall shout aloud for joy. It's going to be a wonderful time. Let's go to Luke chapter 1. Luke chapter 1. Let's walk down this Zion. Let's see where this Zion is located. Luke chapter 1. We're going to read verses 30 through 33. Let's see where this Zion is located, the location of Zion. What he's talking about, the place where he desires to dwell, and not only dwell, but dwell forever. Luke chapter 1, verses 30 through 33. When you get there, brother, go ahead and read.
And the angel said unto her, fear not, Mary, for thou hast found favor with God. And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb, and bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus. And he shall be great, and be called the Son of the Highest. And the Lord God shall give unto him the throne of his father David. And he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever. And of his kingdom there shall be no end.
Okay, we just got to read that. This place in Zion, his dwelling place is going to be forever. And it says, he will give unto his throne of his father David. And he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there shall be no end. So let's see what this throne of his father David is located in Zion. Now let's get this place where Zion is located. Okay, let's go to Revelation chapter 5. Revelation chapter 5. Let's see if it's going to be in heaven or not. Let's see this place of Zion. Is it going to be in heaven? Revelation chapter 5. Revelation chapter 5. And we're going to read verses 1 through 5, and we're going to skip around. Revelation chapter 5, verses 1 through 5. When you get that, brother, go ahead and read.
And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written on the backside sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming in a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and loose the seals thereof. And no man in heaven, nor in earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look therein. And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and read the book, neither to look therein. And one of the elders saith unto me, Weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah and the root of David hath prevailed to open the book and loose the 7 seals thereof.
Now go down to verse 8 and read verses 8 through 10.
And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and the 4 beasts and 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials of odors, which are the prayers of saints. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain, and thou hast redeemed us to God by blood out of every kindred and every tongue and people and nation, and has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
What? Reign in heaven.
On the earth.
Oh, we said the earth. So this place of Zion, this throne of David, is located where? On the earth.
Right.
He didn't say heaven.
Right.
It's on the earth. Now let's go to Isaiah chapter 65. Isaiah chapter 65. Because I hear it all the time. My loved one is in heaven. I can't wait to see my grandmama in heaven. Your grandmama is not in heaven. She's in the ground. If she died right in Christ, she will be rose again on resurrection day. But she's definitely not in heaven. It says, From dust thou art, and dust thou shalt return. Isaiah 65, verses 17 through 19.
Alright. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come to mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem, and rejoicing, and her people of joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying.
So this place is Jerusalem. The throne of David, Zion, is Jerusalem. He said, Behold, I create new heavens and the new earth down, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. Verse 18, But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. So this place is not heaven, it is Jerusalem. Let's go to Zechariah chapter 14. Zechariah chapter 14. So now we are establishing that this place is on earth and it's not in heaven. God never promised you heaven, but he did promise you a place that you will have mansions, and we see that this place is winding up to be Zion or Jerusalem. Now, let's go to Zechariah chapter 14. Let's read verse 4. We're going to skip around a little bit.
And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west, and there shall be a great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half of it toward the south.
Now again, we read this Mount of Olives is where? Before Jerusalem. This is coming back, as Christ's return. He's coming back, and when he comes back to the Mount of Olives, that mountain is going to split in half. He's coming back with great power. And where is the mountain located? In Jerusalem. You will read about the same Mount of Olives in Acts chapter 1. He's come back the same way he returned. Back to heaven, he left heaven in the Mount of Olives, he's coming back on the Mount of Olives.
Right.
And where this is? In Jerusalem. Now, let's skip to verse 16 and read 16 through 19.
And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
All right there. We're going to still be keeping the feast.
That's right.
In Jerusalem. So, just like my brother had a lesson taught earlier today about the Sabbath and his feast days, this is his return now. So, we still going to be talking about the Feast of Tabernacles? Go ahead, brother.
That's right. And it shall be that whoso will not come up come up of all the families of the earth to Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain.
Go ahead, brother.
And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, they that have no rain, they shall be plagued wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that not come to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
Go ahead, brother.
This shall be punishment of Egypt and punishment of all the nations that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
Oh my God. So this really confirms what my brother Jesus was talking about earlier. He said, it's not going to be any rain that anybody will come and keep these feasts, that you will get no rain and you will be punished for not keeping the Feast of Tabernacles. But we're really coming to let you know that it's going to be in earth in Jerusalem. You will not be in heaven. You will be on this earth in Jerusalem, brothers and sisters. And you still will have to keep the feast days, Feast of Tabernacles, because if you don't keep these feast days, you're going to be punished. He said all nations. He didn't say just Israel, and just Israel will be saved, or Israel will be just in the kingdom. It says all nations.
Right.
He will specify Egypt, all the nations. So that dispels that Israel will be saved. All the nations who come under the commonwealth of Israel, I don't care what nation you belong to, when you come under the commonwealth of Israel, you will be in the kingdom of God if you keep his law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
So let's go to Isaiah 66. Isaiah 66. We still see this place is Jerusalem. It's not heaven, brothers and sisters. So you stop saying that you want to see your mother in heaven. Matter of fact, just do the Lord's Prayer and it tells you that kingdom come on earth as is in heaven. Right in the Lord's Prayer. Isaiah 66. I'm going to read verses 22 through 24. Isaiah 66, verses 22 through 24. When you get there, brother, go ahead and read.
For as the new heavens and the new earth which I make shall remain before me, the Lord saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come worship me, saith the Lord.
Stop right up for a minute. See now, not only do the Feast of Tabernacles in this new heaven and new earth, he also mentions new moons, the new month, and what? The Sabbath. So why is he still talking about the Sabbath and the new earth, heaven and earth? Because the Sabbath is forever.
That's right.
Throughout your generations. So that lets you know again what my brother Jesus was talking about in his early lesson, the Sabbath as well. So that's confirmation again, not only the Feast of Tabernacles, but the Sabbath as well. And he said, new heavens and new earth will I make, shall remain before me, said the Lord, and your seed and your name shall remain. Go ahead, brother, read verses 24.
And they shall go forth and look upon the carcass of the men that have transgressed against me. For their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be in a whoring unto all flesh.
Now this is talking about those that did not keep the commandments of God. This is where you're going to end up in this lake of fire, where the worms die not. You're going to feel everything. You're going to feel it because you're going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So guess what? It behooves you to get on board, because if you do not, this is where you're going to end up at.
That's right.
This is the least of the kingdom of God.
That's right.
When he talks about in Matthew chapter 5, those that do not these commandments and teach me and so. He said, you will be the least in the kingdom of God. And that's what he's talking about. This lake of fire. This is the least of the kingdom of God.
That's right.
It's not talking about you're going to be a doorman, a car washer. No, it's talking about the lake of fire. They're going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
That's right.
Now, let's go to Revelation chapter 21. Revelation chapter 21. We're going to read this new heaven and new earth, and where it's going to come from, and where it's going to be. Now, Revelation 21 verses 1 through 4. When you get there, brother, go ahead.
And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adored for her husband.
All right, there for a minute. We still on this new heaven and new earth, right? You still talking about the same thing, and it's still talking about it's going to be in Jerusalem. Now, verse 2 says, and John saw this holy city, New Jerusalem. And where was it coming? Coming down from God the Father out of heaven.
Right.
Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. It's coming down. So we're not going up, it's coming down. And where's coming down? In Jerusalem. Now go ahead, brother, with verse 3.
And I heard a voice saying out of heaven, saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell in them. With them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them, and be their God.
Right there. Did he say God is God to dwell in Jerusalem or Zion forever? And he said right here, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men. Yeah. So where are men on this earth, brother? And he said, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people.
Right.
And God himself, God the Father and the Son, shall be with them and be their God. Right. So you can't get no clearer than that, brothers and sisters. He said New Jerusalem is coming down from God out of heaven to dwell amongst men. And where are men? On this earth. And where's earth? He's talking about in New Jerusalem. We still talk about Jerusalem, brothers and sisters. Now let's read verse 4.
Verse 4. And God shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, no crying, neither shall be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
Now, once you get to this point, brothers and sisters, you can say you are born again. You are saved. But until then, you're still walking among the flesh, and those that endure to the end, the same shall be. It's something you're looking forward to. It hasn't happened yet. Right. So once you get to this point, he said the former things are passed away, and the last enemy shall be defeated is what? Death. Right. So when you get here in the Father's kingdom, you are a spiritual being. You are God. Oh, did I say something wrong? He said, didn't he say that you are God?
That's right.
So you shall die like men? So you become God at this point. There's no more pain, no more tears, no more crying, no more sickness. This when you could actually say you are born again or saved. Now, let's go down to verse 7. Read verse 7.
He that overcometh shall inherit all things. And I will be his God, and he shall be my son.
Read verse 8. Read verse 8.
But be careful and but the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, and the murderers, and the whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
This is what we've been talking about all day long, me and my brother Juice.
That's right.
You want to avoid this right here.
That's right.
Because all these people he mentioned in verse 8 will not be in the kingdom of heaven. Right. So it behooves you to want to get on board and serve this real Jesus. The one that kept the Sabbath, the one that kept the feast days, right. The one that had the dietary laws. Right. You want to get on board, because if you don't, you're going to line up with verse 8. And that's the place you want to be, called the second death. That's the death that you need to be worried about. Because we all wanted to die once. But then comes the judgment. And you know in this part, wrong, because it will be sadly mistaken. All those ones that believe Christ was born on Christmas and he rose on Easter Sunday and all this stuff.
Yeah.
This is where you're going to end up if you don't take heed to this word. Let's go to the last place. Revelation chapter 3, verse 20 and 21. Revelation chapter 3, 20 and 21. Are we looking like it? Okay, wow, I still be trying it. Okay, Revelation chapter 3, verse 20 and 21. Go ahead, brother, when you get there.
Behold, I stand at the door and knock, and if any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcomes, I will grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I overcame, and I sat down with my Father in his throne.
So Christ saying, now listen, once you hear this word, your heart, not your heart. Don't close your mind up to this gospel. He said, because guess what? He's standing at the door of your mind, and he's knocking. He said, if any man hear my voice, open up that door of your mind. Don't be so closed-minded and go on your own doctrine and your own precepts of men and take heed to this word. He said, now, I will come into him, and I will sup with him and he with me. That means once you get this word in your mind, this word will be within you. It's going to be in your mind. It change your ways. It change the lifestyle that you once lived, and come into this doctrine of Christ and start living according to the word. And then guess what? He said you will be an overcomer.
Right.
Not only he said an overcomer, but you got to go through him to get to the Father.
Right.
He said no one comes to the Father except by me. So if you don't make it in Jesus' kingdom, you definitely not going to get to the Father's kingdom.
Amen.
So we just got to read about the Father's kingdom in Revelation chapter 21, verses 1 through 4. That's the Father's kingdom. There's no more flesh and blood at this point. You're all spiritual beings. But to get to the Father's kingdom, you got to go through that 1,000 year of rest, the Jesus kingdom first. You got to get through that 1,000 years of rest. Then you can talk about the Father. But guess what? Let me share you a secret with you. We have never dealt with the Father at any time. I've never heard his voice. So we've only dealt with Jesus, like my brother said earlier. From Genesis to Revelation, from Genesis to Malachi, all talks about Jesus.
That's right. That's right.
So if you want to get on board, you better listen to who? Jesus. Because he didn't come in my name, I did in my Father's name. He sent me. This is not my doctrine. This is the words that my Father gave me to speak. So if you deny Jesus, you deny the Father. If you reject Jesus, you rejected the Father. So he's telling right here. I'm going to read verse 21 again. He said, to him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and sat down with my Father in his throne. He said, guess what? He's sitting on the right hand of the Father.
Yeah.
So he's there as our high priest. See, because guess what? God never promised you heaven. We read over and over again that the new heaven and new earth is going to be in Jerusalem. Mount Zion is in Jerusalem. The throne of David. All of those places are in what? Jerusalem. You will not go to heaven. The only person that desires to go to heaven is show you that. Let's go to Isaiah 14. Let's go to the only person that desires to go back to heaven. And you're following his lead. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 14. It's the only one desires to go back to heaven. Right here. Isaiah 14, and we're going to read verses 12 through 15. When you get there, brother, go ahead and read.
It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, the sides to the sides of the pit.
So this is the only cat designed to go back to heaven because he was thrown out of heaven.
That's right.
And he said, verse 14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. So if you're trying to go to heaven, this is your God right here. Because you want to follow him. He's the only one designed to go to heaven. Again, this lesson is, God never promised you heaven. I hope you got some understanding and peace in Jesus' name.
Amen. That's what's up, man. That's like 25, I think.
Okay.